Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, students. How are you today? I hope you are all fine for this morning. And today, I'm going to teach you again, and still in English class, of course. Okay, well, for this morning, we are going to continue our material about making suggestion and making offer. Yeah, making suggestion and making offer. But maybe in this lesson, I'm going to divide the video into two videos because I think if I make it in one video, it will be so long. Okay, so this is the first video and I'm going to share it in Telegram. Okay, now we go to the next, still about suggesting and offering. Yeah. Okay, this is about me. As usual, I always write about me. I'm the author of this media. And then kompetensi dasar masih seperti kemarin, menerapkan fungsi sosial, struktur teks, dan unsur kebahasaan untuk memberi saran dan menawarkan. Lalu pada materi ini saya tambah untuk kompetensi dasar keterampilan, yaitu menyusun teks, menawarkan, dan memberi saran. Kemudian untuk tujuan pembelajaran atau the goal of this lesson for this morning is after having this class, we hope that the students will be able to analyze the expression of suggesting, offering, and the response. So the first goal of this study is the students will be able to analyze the expression of suggesting, offering, and the response. Diharapkan siswa mampu menganalisis kalimat ekspresi menawarkan, kemudian memberi saran, dan juga responnya. Jadi nanti saya akan memberikan beberapa pattern, beberapa aturan dalam membuat kalimat suggesting dan offering. And then the second goals of this study is the students will be able to compose the expressions of suggesting, offering, and the response. To compose, it means that to construct, to make, untuk menghasilkan, ya, untuk menghasilkan kalimat-kalimat expression suggesting and also offering dan juga responnya. Okay, do you get the point of the goal of this lesson? Okay, good. Next, we go. Yeah, okay, well, now I'm going to give you the example of a dialogue of giving suggestion, and then I'm going to practice this dialogue, and you have to pay attention to the dialogue and also the intonation and my pronunciation. Okay, listen to me carefully. The dialogue is between Fahad and Malik. It's raining. I think we will be wet. What about staying inside until it stops raining? Okay, then let's have a cup of tea until it stops. That's good, but why don't we have cake with tea? How about some cookies instead of the cake? I agree, but I suggest we have milk in the tea. Okay, now I'm going to read again the dialogue for you. And you have to pay attention to me. Listen to me carefully. And pay attention to the sentences in the red color. Pay attention to the sentences in the red color. Perhatikan pada kalimat yang menggunakan warna merah. Yang ditulis dalam warna merah. That's the expression of making suggestion. Itu adalah ekspresi untuk memberi saran, suggestion. Okay, listen to me carefully. The dialogue is between Fahad and his friend Malik. It's raining. I think we will be wet. about staying inside until it stops raining? Okay, then let's have a cup of tea until it stops. That's good, but why don't we have cake with tea? How about some cookies instead of the cake? I agree, but I suggest we have milk in the tea. Okay, now let's take a look at the sentences in the red color. Perhatikan pada kalimat yang berwarna merah. The situation is that is in raining day. The situation is raining. And Fahad and Malik they are outside of the house. They are sitting outside of the house, and then it's raining. And then Malik suggests Fahad to stay inside until it stops raining. He said, what about staying inside until it stops raining? Bagaimana jika kita ada di dalam saja sampai hujannya berhenti? Okay. And then the next, Fahad gives another suggestion to Malik. Okay, then let's have a cup of tea until it stops. Let's have a cup of tea until it stops. Okay, kalau begitu, mari kita minum teh sampai hujan berhenti. That's also a suggestion. The next, Malik is also having another suggestion. He said, that's good, but why don't we have cake with tea? Ya, okay. Itu bagus. Tapi, kenapa kita tidak coba makan kue dan juga teh? Why don't we have cake with tea? That is also another suggestion. The next, Fahad is also making another suggestion to Malik. Fahad juga memberi saran. How about some cookies instead of the cake? How about some cookies instead of the cake? Bagaimana kalau kita makan cookies, bukan cake. Lebih baik cookies daripada cake. That's Fahad's suggestion. And then Malik said, I agree. Saya setuju. And then Malik gave also another suggestion. Malik juga memberi saran yang lain. But I suggest we have milk in the tea. Tapi aku sarankan kita beri susu dalam teh itu. Okay, yeah. That's the example of the dialogue of making suggestion. And there are a lot of ways in making suggestion. Okay, now we go to the next. I hope you understand what I say. And if you don't understand, you can read it again, the video, and then you can read again the dialogue, and you can also listen to my explanation. Okay, the next. Yeah, well. When making suggestion, we use the following phrases. Again, when making suggestions, we use the following phrases. Ketika membuat suggestion, membuat kalimat saran, kita gunakan frase-frase berikut ini. First, let's plus infinitive. Let's plus infinitive. Let's. Do you know the meaning of let's? Okay, good. Let's mean ayo, mari. Plus infinitive. What is infinitive? Apa itu infinitif? Infinitif itu adalah kata kerja dasar. Jadi tidak menggunakan to. Contoh, drink, sleep, eat, study. Jadi infinitif itu adalah kata kerja dasar sebelum ditambah dengan to. Ya, oke, ingat-ingat ya. Oke, let's take a look at the example. The situation is raining. It's raining. Let's take an umbrella. Situasinya sedang hujan. And then the suggestion is, let's take an umbrella. Let's plus infinitive. The infinitive is take. Ya, perhatikan di situ tidak perlu menggunakan to. Jadi tidak let's to take an umbrella, tetapi langsung let's take an umbrella. Do you know the meaning of the sentence? Tahu artinya? Okay, that's good. Ayo, ambil payung. Okay, the second phrase is in making suggestion. Number 2. What about or how about plus gerund and then plus question mark. What about or how about plus gerund plus question mark. Okay. What about or how about? In Bahasa Indonesia we have what about and how about. Usually we use it when you are having a conversation in Bahasa Indonesia. For example, bagaimana jika? Bagaimana jika? Jadi dalam bahasa Inggris kalian bisa menggunakan what about atau how about. Setelah penggunaan what about atau how about, kita gunakan gerund. Okay, what is gerund? I just want to remind you, saya hanya mengingatkan saja, gerund adalah kata kerja, kata benda yang diakhiri dengan ing. Jadi gerund itu biasanya menggunakan ing. Dan what about, how about, this is a kind of question. Jadi penggunaan what about, how about ini dalam bentuk kalimat tanya. Bagaimana jika? Okay, let's take a look at of the example below. The dialogue, it stopped raining. And then the suggestion, what about or how about having dinner in a restaurant? What about or how about having dinner in a restaurant? Ya, the situasi hujannya sudah berhenti. Kemudian B, giving suggestion to A, memberi saran kepada A. What about or how about having dinner in a restaurant? Bagaimana jika kita makan malam di sebuah restoran? Ya, pay attention to the red sentence. Perhatikan pada kalimat berwarna merah. Di situ what about or how about, and then plus gerund. The gerund is having. Having adalah have plus ing. Nah, jadi gerund itu selalu menggunakan ing. Jadi yang perlu diingat setelah memakai what about atau how about, kalian gunakan kata kerja atau mungkin kata benda yang ditambah dengan ing. Kata benda yang kemudian diberi ing, yang kemudian berarti menjadi kerja, itu adalah contoh smoking. Smoking itu dari kata smoke. Smoke itu adalah asap. Kemudian diberi ing, dia menjadi smoking, artinya merokok. Nah, jadi itu adalah kata benda yang kemudian diberi ing, maka dia menjadi kata kerja. Nah, jadi di sini after what about or how about we have to use a gerund. And then the next sentence and then the next explanation, bisa keterangan tempat, keterangan waktu dan seterusnya. Dan jangan lupa gunakan tanda tanya, question mark. Okay, good. The next phrases. Number 3. In making suggestion, we use these phrases. Why don't plus subject plus infinitive plus question mark. Why don't plus subject plus infinitive plus question mark. Why don't? I think that all of you have understood about the meaning of why don't. Apa coba artinya why don't? Okay, good. The meaning is kenapa tidak? Kenapa tidak? Bla 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 bla. Ya, plus subject plus infinitive. Still remember what infinitive is? Masih ingat infinitive itu apa? Okay, good. Kata kerja dasar. Ya, take a look at this example. Perhatikan pada contoh ini. The dialogue. It stopped raining. And then B is giving suggestion to A. Why don't we go to have dinner in a restaurant? Why don't we go to have dinner in a restaurant? Why don't plus subject. Subjeknya adalah we. Lalu plus infinitive. Infinitifnya adalah go. Why don't we go? Kemudian dilanjutkan keterangan berikutnya. Pergi kemana? Why don't we go to have dinner in a restaurant? Kenapa kita tidak pergi untuk makan malam di sebuah restoran? Ya. Okay. Jadi in making suggestion, kita juga bisa menggunakan kalimat tanya. Okay. In making suggestion, we can also make in a question form. We can use what about, how about, or why don't. Why don't plus subject plus infinitive and question mark. Okay. The next. After you make the suggestion in a question form, we are going to make suggestion in a positive form or in affirmative sentence. Ya, dalam bentuk kalimat, berita. We can use I suggest plus subject plus infinitive. I suggest, ya karena yang memberi saran adalah saya atau kita. Bisa memakai I, bisa memakai we. I suggest plus subject plus infinitive. Okay, take a look at this example. The situation, the dialogue between A and B. It stopped raining. And then B is saying, I suggest we go to have dinner in a restaurant. I suggest we go to have dinner in a restaurant. I suggest plus subject, the subject is we, and then plus infinitive, the infinitive is go, and then kelanjutannya, to have dinner in a restaurant. Aku sarankan kita pergi untuk makan malam di sebuah restoran. I suggest we go to have dinner in a restaurant. Okay. Next, after making suggestion, as I told you on the first video that I sent you on the last week, in making suggestion, there are also response. There are two kinds of response, that is accepting and refusing or declining. Accepting itu menerima, refusing atau declining adalah menolak. Jadi menerima saran dan juga menolak saran. Accepting, we can also say agreement. Menerima bisa juga kita sebut dengan agreement. Menyetujui. Jadi setuju, agree, or accept, menerima the suggestion. saran. Okay. Yeah. In accepting the suggestion or in agreeing the suggestion, we can say, that's a great or a good idea. For example, you agree with your friend's suggestion, you can say, that's a great idea. Wah, itu ide yang bagus. Okay, next. That sounds great. Or that sounds good. Wah, itu kedengarannya menyenangkan. That sounds good. That sounds great. Now, for example, your friend suggesting to you to go to the beach on the weekdays. Yeah, for example, he say that, what about going to the beach on next Sunday? And then you agree with him, and then you say, that sounds great, or that sounds good. I agree with you. Okay, and then the next, I agree. Yeah, okay. There are a lot of examples of accepting the suggestion, but I show you the most popular accepting. Okay, that's accepting suggestion atau menerima atau menyetujui saran. The next, showing disagreement or refusing or declining. Jadi dalam bahasa Inggris, menolak itu bisa dikatakan refusing or declining, atau juga disagreement, atau tidak menyetujui. Okay, you can say, I disagree. Now, for example, your friend suggesting to you, I suggest we go to the museum this Saturday. But you don't agree with her. Kamu tidak setuju dengan dia. And then you can say, I disagree. And then you can give another suggestion, of course. Kemudian kamu boleh memberi saran yang lainnya. I disagree. Saya tidak setuju. Okay, the next. That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. Wah, itu ide yang kurang bagus. Itu ide yang kurang bagus. The next. I don't think that is a good suggestion. I don't think that is a good suggestion. Saya merasa itu bukan suggestion atau bukan saran yang baik. I don't think that is a good suggestion. Okay, students, yeah, that's the first video. And then I'm going to continue for the next video after this. Okay? See you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.